5 months since the federal election and still no government for Belgium. While it might not be unusual for here, it looks like political fragmentation and the end to the one-party government is on the rise across the European Union. More than 5 months since the last federal elections and Belgium is yet to form a government. But this is not very unusual. Belgium spent 541 days without a government after the election in 2010. And for now, the prolonged discussions show there's very little common ground between the main political forces. So what can we expect?
One solution could be to go to new elections, but all these parties could lose ground to the extreme, on the left and on the right, on the French-speaking region and on the Dutch-speaking side, or to try to form a government without the main party, which is the NVA, the nationalist right. But that's a very politically risky solution, so they have to choose at one point, but they are still talking.
The situation in Belgium is far from unique. In fact, single-party governments are now the exception all over the EU. Is this the new normal?
Voters are never happy with the situation, so the way to express their discontent is always at going to the extremes or weakening one of the partners of the coalition. But the political landscape is so fragmented that it's difficult to find one or even two parties that can govern together, that can have a majority together, and that can find a common ground.
The politics of fragmentation is spilling from the national to the European level. Further weakening could lead to unexpected consequences. Commission President-elect Ursula von der Leyen has written to UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson requesting at least one name for the UK to fulfil its Commission portfolio. This would be quite controversial because, of course, the UK says it would leave the EU by the end of January by the very latest. Meanwhile, the Romanian government has submitted two names for its Commission portfolio, two MEPs who will face the European Parliament in the coming days. The incoming President of the European Commission has insisted that the UK nominate an EU Commissioner. Ursula von der Leyen sent British Prime Minister Boris Johnson a letter requesting a name to fill the UK's Commission portfolio, adding that ideally it would be a woman. Meanwhile, the Romanian government is set to propose MEPs Adina Iona Volean and Siegfried Mureșan for its candidates for Commission. The group of the Socialists in the European Parliament warned Ms von der Leyen to keep the gender balance.
We need this commitment to translate into a gender-balanced college. This is a condition to guarantee our group's support to the next European Commission.